Minister of Plantation, Minister of Plantation and Community Services, Samantha Vidyaratna, Minister of Industries and Entrepreneurship Development, Sunil Handunhetty, Member of Parliament, Dr. Harsha De Silva, Resident Representative for Sri Lanka International Monetary Fund, Madam Martha, Ambassadors to Turkey and Iran, Chargé d'Affaires of Iraq, diplomatic officers from Japan and Iran, World Bank representative, Secretary to the Ministry of Plantation, Chairman Sri Lanka Tea Board, Chairman TRI, Chairman THSDA, Chairman, representative and of stakeholder organization, other invitees, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the 26th Annual General Meeting of the Tea Exporters Association. As we are stuck for a little bit for time, I'll try and keep this brief. In 2025, for the year 2025, we project that we will be able to produce 270 million kilos, and export revenue will reach 1.5 billion USD. This is about 10 million kilos more than last year, and about $100 million more than last year. Thanks, a big thank you to the Tea Board, Ministry of Plantation, Ministry of Industries for facilitating this, keeping fertilizer supply to our producer brothers continuing. And also, we had a very big victory with the US tariffs, now at a very preferential rate of 20%, which is giving us a big advantage. Thank you. The government has put an ambitious task of achieving 400 million kilos and an export revenue of 2.5 billion by the year 2030. And we fully, from the TEA, we fully endorse this idea. Is it achievable? This is a graph that I got from the International Tea Committee annual bulletin. You can see from the year 2014 to the year 2023, the growth of both consumption and production of tea. From, it is healthy, and we are hoping that it continues. I would also like to just see how Sri Lanka has performed in this similar period. Let's go a little bit further back to the year 1982. In 1982, we were producing only about 170 million kilos. By the year 2014, this reached to 330 million kilos. If you see the purple line there, that has been the catalyst of our growth. Those are small holders, 480,000 families with about half an acre of tea, with no government aid, with no handouts, increasing the production of Ceylon tea. So then we have to look at, while the world was increasing, I showed you in the last slide how the world was increasing from 2014 to 2022, how Sri Lanka has done from 2014 to 2022. Unfortunately, after some self-inflicted pain, from 330 million kilos, we have come down to about 250 million kilos in the year 2023. Now we've come up to about 260 million kilos in 2024. The big brunt of it was taken by the smallholders. You can see that the smallholder production has gone down a fair bit. I'd like to speak a little bit about the smallholders and what we need to do for them. So smallholders are basically located around about 450 SLTOFOA factories in this region of the country. They produce about 70% of Sri Lanka's tea, have about half an acre, and currently they produce, on average, we think about 150 kilos of green leaf per acre per month, giving them a ballpark income of about 23,000 rupees per month. From experts, we are led to believe that it is easy to achieve 600 kilos per acre. I think I was just speaking to the secretary just a while ago, and he said that he has seen demonstrations of even 1,500 kilos per acre. by increasing this, by increasing the output, definitely the income for the smallholder will increase. You can see I've just done a simple calculation. If it's times 4, we get 94,000 rupees. This makes it interesting for a smallholder family to keep their tea plantation going. This makes it interesting for them to take care of their tea plantation. 23,000, they might as well do something else. We visited the THSDA office in Gaul and took a photo. I just want to show you a photo of a smallholder. This is virtually an abandoned smallholder in the district of Gaul. This is the sort of thing that is happening if, as I told you earlier, the smallholders grew with absolutely no assistance from the government. This is the time, I think, with a little bit of this downward shift, that we need to give them some assistance. Both the plantation ministry, the tea board, even the CTTA have done independent studies, and they are all recommending an intensive block infilling program for the smallholders. This block infilling program for 3 years is going to cost 100 billion rupees. I know for the last few years in the budget, we are talking 100 billion rupees. We've had less than 1 billion rupees given to the smallholders. When you compare that with, our brethren from the rice producers, just their fertilizer subsidy comes to about 35 billion rupees that is allocated every year for the budget. 480,000 families. I think we urge the government to try and do right by them just for these 3 years to get them out of the woods. I just thought I'll just put some, statistics on, what block infilling will do. From what we understand from experts, a plant will cost 200 rupees to grow. That will give the smallholder, after 2 years, it'll give the smallholder about 450 rupees per plant income every year. And export income for the country works out to, at current auction rates, about 820 rupees per year. That is just by investing 200 rupees. We need to, this is the time to bridge that gap and make Sri Lankan tea, strong again. This 820 rupees and the 450 rupees will continue for maybe 35 years. So it's not going to go abroad or anything like that. The plant is going to be in Sri Lanka. Another thing that we are concerned about is the regional plantation companies. In 1992, after the government had it for a long time with a lot of losses, they privatized the regional plantation companies. I think in 2002, in about 2002, their volume peaked. Now they are also at 150 kgs per acre of green leaf from going by auction data, calculating back from auction data. These are very big companies. They don't need handouts, but what they need is they need to be encouraged. They are looking for profit. They need to be encouraged because their lease agreements finish in 17 years. In 17 years, we don't want similar pictures like I showed you earlier, and that is what the tea industry will inherit if the government does not engage with them and encourage them to do massive scale replantation, giving them tax incentives and things like that. It's 1st of October is near. It's actually 18 days left for our 18%. What do you call it? We would like to thank, the Secretary of the Treasury, the Finance Ministry, IRD for engaging us a lot and explaining to us. They have assured us that when SVAT is gone and when VAT comes, they will refund VAT to the exporters before 45 days. Their test models show that they will refund VAT within 37 days. They have also started e-invoicing, and they have got one person from the garment sector and one company from the tea sector to get involved in this. And with e-invoicing, they're guaranteeing that VAT can be refunded in 1 day. So we hope that it also comes to fruition. However, we'd like to make this point about tea on VAT, VAT on tea, at the auction. We believe that this is very unfair. All other agricultural products and producers of agricultural products do not have to pay VAT. unprocessed agricultural products, which black tea also falls under the category. Most unprocessed, as in all our unprocessed agricultural products, do not have to pay VAT. If you think of, the actual statistics, I just put, the use of the tea in Sri Lanka just to show the, the ginormity of this problem. Out of the tea produced in Sri Lanka, 93% is exported. So, there is no revenue loss to the government. All the VAT that is collected is returned back to the exporter. Another 4% is branded tea sales. There are about 15 companies, very big in the branded tea sales space. People like Zesta, Celonta, which are big FMCG companies. They are not going to scam on the VAT. So that VAT is also going to come to the government when they sell to their, to the supermarkets, to the retail stores and things like that. Then you've got another 3%, which is local sales. This 3% local sales, anyway, with the electronic auction, they are charged VAT. So when we know it is a local packer, there is a surveillance and an audit unit in the tea auction committee. They make sure that local packers pay VAT. So what we are doing is actually maybe in that 3% there is a chance of a leakage, let's say. But we are charging 100 rupees, and for every 100 rupees, the government is trying to save like 10 cents maybe of leakage from the 3 rupees of VAT. And I think that's a little draconian. And traditionally, even before 2004, 2024, tea was not a VAT item. So we please urge the government to reconsider this. Brand promotion. This is a very important thing for us. For many years, the Tea Board used to support brand owners by contributing 50% to their brand promotion efforts abroad. Unfortunately, this year, this scheme did not take fruition. We hope we hope that next year that this scheme again is reopened, because with world tea production increasing, competition increasing, for us, Ceylon tea, to keep our $2 per kg premium to all other teas, we definitely need the assistance of the government for especially our local brands. MRL and moisture. I would really like to thank our producer organizations this year for making a strict stand to take stringent steps to make sure that both MRL and moisture levels are adhered to. This will enable us to export to places which are very stringent, and more countries are becoming more stringent, like Japan and the EU. Thank you very much to the producer organizations. We have another issue. Since about 2021, the import of spices and ingredients for value addition and re-export of tea has been banned. Lot of the exporters are doing private label brands for other, for foreign companies, in which ingredients like turmeric and ginger are an essential ingredient. And we really need actually the government has really been supporting us. The EDB, the Tea Board, as well as the Plantation Ministry and the Ministry of Industries has been supporting us to try and get this ban lifted, because otherwise these private label brands will go abroad and pack not only their ginger and turmeric, but their other teas also there, and we will lose income. However, it is still not done, so we urge the government to try and do this as fast as possible. I'd like to thank all the sponsors who have helped us. Your sponsorship goes to help us contribute to our CSR projects. We currently donate books to children from the smallholder families, and we also have a scholarship program for all for plantation worker children as well as smallholders. I think I've managed to wrap that up in 5 minutes. I hope I haven't missed anything. Otherwise, Ranjit will make me come back again. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.